So you guys seem to enjoy the videos where I provide a list of 5 things that you shouldn't do with your fall garden, really anything that I make around here. So today I'm going to be doing 5 things you shouldn't do with your chickens. Be sure to enjoy the video. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, but it's not a requirement. I just figured I'd say that. So let's get right into the video, everyone. Overfeeding is a common issue with people and their chickens. I really don't know why people tend to give their chickens more feed, other than maybe the slight increase in eggs, possible. I don't really see a good reason to feed the chickens more than you already are, unless they're becoming severely underweight or malnourished. Then there isn't really an issue with giving them a good amount of food per day. You don't really need to increase it. They're gonna find the natural food themselves, and they're gonna keep getting the chicken feeder and treats and all that whatnot every day. Find a number that works for you and try not to fluctuate it too much, or trust me, those chickens will notice, man, and they will never let you live it down, unfortunately. Next up, we have free ranging. And no, I'm not talking about just free ranging your chickens for a little bit every day, or maybe generally free ranging them, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that just throw their chickens outside, give them a coop that's barely even noteworthy, and then just let them live. They barely come in contact with the chickens other than to give them some fresh feed and water every day. Don't do that. Please, please don't do that, yo. Like, that's the one thing that'll get all your chickens killed. So make sure that you keep them in a pasture or free range them at your own risk is really what I gotta say. If you're going to free range them and you want them to stay as safe as possible, the easiest option is what I like to call a hybrid between free ranging and pasturing. I know it's the most beautiful name ever created, but like, yeah, it's quite simple. You want to open up the fence on one day, let them all out, and you want to slowly maybe open it a little bit more often. So that way you have half of the days where they're in the yard and the other half when they're out. You start flipping it between day and day. It's a pretty simple thing to do, but I think it's pretty neat, and it'll help get your chickens the amount of exposure to the vitamins that they need. Ignorance of disease. Do I really need to explain this one? Probably not, but I just figured I'd put this in the video for the sake of putting it in the video. If you notice your chickens are getting all of a sudden pretty sick, or there's many dropping dead at once, please get in contact with local officials, as they will help you determine if they're getting the bird flu or not, or if there's something else impacting your chickens. If you see a chicken egg bound, treat it as soon as possible. It is okay to bring your chickens to the vet. Trust me, we've done that before. It might be a little bit more on the costly side, but trust me, if you have a pet flock, consult with your local veterinarian if one gets sick or injured. And last, but certainly not least, this is one that won't really impact the chickens, but one that'll sort of impact your sanity. We got putting feed and water in the chicken coop on a chicken farm that typically has the chickens outside getting most of the food for the whole day. That was a mouthful. What I'm really saying here is, unless they're not coming out for the day, you don't need to put the water in the coop for the night, because they love to make a mess. And if you have some ducks in that chicken coop, yeah, you could say goodbye to cleaning that coop once a week, or sometimes even every other week, because that coop is going to be a mess by the time you wake up the next morning. Ducks are an absolute mess. Don't get me wrong, I raised ducks here from about August 2020 all the way up to July of this year. We literally lost all 3 of them over the course of the first 7 months of the year, and it kind of sucked. But either way, I just figured I'd sort of tailgate talking about ducks into... Alright, that was a horrible way. I'll say, I'm going to use talking about ducks to go into my next point. I'm releasing a duck documentary tomorrow. It'll be my second to last duck video because it'll come in 2 parts. It's going to be a pretty big documentary, so stay tuned, everyone. That video will be coming out tomorrow. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to click the video on the screen. Trust me, it's pretty cool. It's my latest gardening video, so I'm out. Subscribe.